Ebonyi State government shown Japa syndrome among health workers in the state. Head of service affirm.
You are welcome to the Mirror TV. We offer you news, local, national and international, on politics, religious and socio-cultural events, project work documentary, live documentary and lot more. Contact us today and do not forget to subscribe to our channel so as to get our updates on daily basis.
Prior to Workers' Day celebration in the world, and as a state of Nigeria in which Ebonyi State is not exempted, the head of Service Commission Ebonyi State, Dr. Mrs. R.ITAMARY OKORO, highlights some of the achievements of her office in short term, workers' welfare, rule of engagement, workers' relationship with Ebonyi State government led by Right Honorable Francis Ogbonawefo, prospect and focus of the commission in Ebonyi State to advance workforce for a better result in the state. Significance of Workers' Day celebration and also reacting some of the issues of concern rising from the public domain about Civil Service Commission in Ebonyi State. These and more are interaction with newsmen in the office of the head of service Ebonyi State, Dr. R.ITAMARY OKORO, in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State capital.
He has been very benevolent to our state, and by giving us our governor, who has been a very doting father concerning the civil and public servants of the state. We also want to thank him for being himself, for being true to his calling, for being the father that he is. We have recorded, by the grace of God, a lot of successes due to his magnanimity to the service. Most especially is we started off with the payments of gratuities to our retired civil servants who have been old for over a decade in the state. From 1996, he cleared all of the arrears of the gratuities. A total of over 4.8 billion has been released for that payment. So, as we speak, the last batch of the payment is ongoing, and we don't expect to have any more debts or indebtedness by the state governor as regards gratuities. Having said that, we also would like to talk about the constant payment of salaries. For every person, once you have a constant source of income, it does a lot to your financial abilities. You're able to plan. Planning is a very essential part of resourcefulness. So our workers have received their salaries as at when due. We've never had any case of salaries not coming by the 30th of the month. Likewise, pension. We have had our pensioners receive their pensions as at when due. That aside, we also talk about little ones, like not little particularly, but things like 10,000 naira lunch award, you know, for our state workers, the 100,000 naira palliative that was given increased at the Christmas time for our civil servants to enjoy the season, the Yuletide. We have never had it so good. We have never had it so good. And particularly to mention is the fact that that 100,000 naira came not just for the Christmas. It was so well timed that even the January difficulties and challenges that our civil servants usually experience, it also took care of it. The children going back to school. So you can imagine how happy we all were to receive that money. Of recent is the Onwa Healthcare program for our civil and public servants, where the state government has offset the 5% of the gross salary that is usually paid by the worker towards the health insurance scheme. He has paid that for every civil and public servant, and for me, I see that as further enhancement of the of salaries, of the income of the civil servant. You know, because we all know that healthcare is one of the greatest challenges to the salary that comes into the civil servant. So with that being taken care of now, there are less challenges. There's less for the salary to take care of, you know. So consequently, the civil servant can now take not just himself but his wife and 4 of his children below 18 years to the hospital, get the adequate health care without much stress on his pockets. That is the high point for me in all that we have gained from His Excellency's goodwill and gifts, you know. So we have quite a lot in that regard. Recruitment, that for those in the health, in the medical field, you know, we had a lot of doctors that were recruited, the general hospitals that were upgraded. His goodwill towards the medical doctors to avoid and to prevent the Japa syndrome that we're all aware that is a great challenge on the medical sector. You know, the jeep that was provided for our doctors, the extra allowances that were given to them to make sure that they stay and are beneficial to the society. We also know about the current recruitment exercise of about 1,500 civil servants is still on course, and Ebonyi has been blessed by with God's gift of our governor, Right Honorable Builder Francis Ogbonnia. It's just like you have moments and days, like you have the Mother's Day, you have the Father's Day, you have the Girls' Week and things like that. It is a day that has been set aside to celebrate our workers. You know, we dedicate that particular day to wine and dine with them, to draw attention to the efforts and the sacrifices that have been made by the workers all over the world, not just in Ebonyi State and Nigeria. You know, it's a day that we commemorate the essence of being a worker, a contributor to service provision worldwide.
Looking at Ebonyi Civil Service Commission, the last we met here, you said Ebonyi civil servants need to embark on self-development to add value to the service. And you as well made a mention that you people are going to embark on seminars to train and retrain them, as well to go to the stable quality of the civil service in Nigeria, not in the global world. Because when you talk of global world, then they mention that about civil service, they are actually lagging behind. Is there any of those things you mentioned that you people have put in place, or is there any of them that embark on self-training to add value?
Yes, we have received some letters requesting for further training, both personally and sponsored by the government. You know, we have had a number of trainings going on in that vein. Currently, we have got approval for what we call the compro training, and then training for our drivers. So within the next 1 week, you'll be hearing and seeing those trainings commence. So the governor has been very supportive as regards, you know, it's contained in his manifesto to improve the capacities of our civil servants. He has done a lot of work there so far. You know, we are going to have a number of trainings. We are having, and we are going to have more trainings for our civil servants.
The state government employment process, there is this rumor that it has been hijacked by the appointees and given to their family members. Please, can you throw more light on that so that we also light it for the public to know what is actually happening in that area?
Yes, it is a case for concern. Those rumors, our people, the social media has done such damage to our society and to the populace. People sit in their homes and come up with information, and then other people will assimilate it, will take it on as it is. What do you mean by hijack? When you say hijack, you talk about carjackings and stuff. Who can hijack a government program? And anybody knowing the precedence of our governor, you should know that nobody can hijack his policy or his plans and his programs. It's absolutely, it's so absurd to even think of something like that. Like I said, at an initial opportunity such as this, recruitment exercise has a procedure. It has a procedure, and that procedure must be effectively and efficiently followed. What we are talking about here is bringing in capacities into the state civil service to provide service. There must be that capacity. It must pass through a fine process to get the best. Because we are trying to add value to the system. We must have value to add to the system. It's not something, it's not a jamboree. It's something that should have some seriousness about it. So I'm happy that the state is not taking anything for granted. All of the processes are in place, and I'm very sure that at the end of it all, we are going to have people worthy of recruitment into the service being recruited to add value to the system.
Okay, we know your advice to the workers in Ebonyi State as they celebrate tomorrow.
Like I always say, they are the apple of my eye. They have supported me immensely since I assumed this seat. We have had such peace in the service. I appreciate them for that. It is our day tomorrow. It is our day that we'll sit and reflect, not just to celebrate. How much have we actually added as value to the service? Let us look at all we have been doing individually and collectively, our attitude to work, attendance, and confidentiality, like I always say, is the watchword of the service. Have we kept to the ethics of this profession? Have we kept to the ethics of the service? How confidential are our files? How confidential are our files? How confidential, how secret is the secrecy of the service? It is something I hope that in due course we will all readdress and then attend to. We need a change of attitude to the service. We need a complete reorientation, both as a system and individually. We need to look at what the service used to be and what it is today. A complete change of attitude to work. So all of these are things that one should have in consideration while pegging the salary for civil servants. The governor has started. I'm quite hopeful. I look at the case scenario where our civil servants will have a better working environment. A better working environment. The challenge of the home angle will be highly reduced. I won't say it's impossible to say that salaries will be enough. Even people in the business sector, they never have enough, But I believe it will be commensurate and much better than what we have today.
It's known generally that salary is never enough. As a mother in the States, what's your advice to your people, the workers, on how to survive, even despite the size of the salary?
Planning. Planning is so essential. The governor has been magnanimous in paying these salaries as at when due. That is a major step. The next is for the individual who receives this salary to plan. Let us cut our coat according to our size. This is what I have every month. This is how the expenditures should go. What I cannot do for this month, I can plan in the long term, 2-3 months. Have savings, no matter how small it is. You'll be surprised at how much 100 naira every day can amount to in a year. You know, so let us plan. Planning is essential. There's no amount of money that anyone makes that it will be enough for needs. As more money that you make, the more your needs and wants will come up. So essentially, planning is the game changer. Know what you earn monthly and plan accordingly.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and drop your comment now.